Yo, welcome to another episode of the BJJ Goons podcast. I'm one half of the team here, Tim, Mushmaster Spriggs, and with me as always every week is...
Yo, what's up everybody? It's Nico Ball. Glad to be back for another episode of the best BJJ podcast. Every time I say that, I want to say the best BJJ Goons podcast, but yeah.
Yeah, well, every new one is our best one because we put our best foot forward. Now in full Shure microphone sound.
Yeah,
I'm hyped. Yes.
Yes, it's nice. It's nice. I mean, I guess we had it with the interview for Corey. Like, it's been hectic because I went out of town. Like, I went home for a week, which is the longest I've been out of DC in a hot minute. And then Tim went out of town, and we gotten a whole bunch of interviews or filming before we left town. Now we're back in town. No, it's because we didn't have the Shure microphones last time. You're right.
No.
I'm tripping. We went to go pick them up, and they weren't there on time.
Yeah. Just another obstacle in the way, but we still got the Corey episode down. Make sure you check that out if you haven't already done so. Shout out to Corey for coming onto the podcast. Yeah, it was just a really fun experience getting to know Corey a little bit better, but now we are in full professional sound right now, and I'm super psyched. I'm coming back from a vacation. I was down in New Orleans for a few days at the Four Seasons.
Where were you?
New Orleans.
Oh, you gotta say it like you said it the first time. You said New Orleans. He said I was down in New Orleans. I heard that.
Baby.
Yeah. Did you say you were at the Four Seasons?
Yeah.
Oh, snap. I hope. My last friend that went to the Four Seasons recently had his first child. So, you better be careful. You better be careful. It happened at the Four Seasons, So, a lot of things happen there. You might get crunk, but you got to be careful about the repercussions afterwards.
Yeah, you got to pull out or wrap it up. Or get that $500 ready for Planned Parenthood.
I'd ask you what your preferred method of contraception. What is it? Contraception? Yeah, but we'll save that for a Patreon.
Oh, okay. We can save that for the Patreon.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you get the real nitty-gritty of what the BJJ Goons are really like at the BJJ Goons Patreon at patreon.com/BJJ Goons. We don't just have bonus episodes, but we also have match breakdowns. We also have watch-alongs. We even have town halls. The next town hall that we have for the BJJ Goons podcast is coming out very soon.
Yeah, I was going to make you schedule it before you leave today.
Yes. So we're scheduling it today as we are recording. And, we just have so much great stuff on the Patreon. Just give it a try. We got a $5 tier if you want to get your feet wet, all the way up to the $20 tier. But just check us out and support the BJJ Goons movement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the dope things about the Patreon that I don't think enough people take advantage of is if we have weekly technique videos. I think we're kind of doing match breakdowns as well with the technique videos, but even if you're not seeing the techniques, if you have questions about something specific, you can always drop us a message via Patreon or on the Discord community, and then Tim will make a video for that question.
Absolutely. But, that's enough of our shameful plugs for now.
Mm-hmm. You're also shamefully talking about his thighs.
Yeah, the thigh meat is out.
It's okay.
The thigh meat's out because it's hot out here.
I mean, it is.
The weather is worse here than New Orleans.
King is really Tim. Tim is really king of the Hoochie Daddy shorts. And I guess that's because of Perry Athletics. He got all the Perry gear from when they were sponsoring the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Perry Athletics has some dope Hoochie Daddy shorts.
You can train in these, you can walk around in them. It's the summertime. I love the summertime because you can just wear whatever you want as long as you're comfortable because it's so hot. And in the DMV, the weather is awful. So I'm just dressing for comfort, and that means I had the thighs out. So everybody watching on YouTube, shout out to you. You get the nice look at my luscious, moisturized thighs. But I digress. Earlier, we were talking about Corey Walker. And we have some updates about the jiu-jitsu scene going on. Would you care to share, Nico?
We were talking about or looking over the results from Orlando Open. And
yes.
I guess it's Orlando Open, and there's a big kids tournament. It's not Pan Kids, is it? Is it the Pan Kids?
No, it's not Pan Kids.
But there are kids coming from Brazil.
It's a big tournament. The kids programs in IBJJF, or the kids division, has grown so much, and there's high-level kids competitions going on more frequently. We had a few kids from the Crazy 88 Kids program, and I'm sure Team
it is
Order
paying kids for the kids. It is
paying
kids. Yeah, because I know, because favela jiu-jitsu, social projects. Like I said, like there's a lot of kids. I know I was mentioning it because the TLI squad's down here, and it's not on the outline. So we starting with the little ones, like, and who are competing now, like today and yesterday. So I know a squad from TLI is down there along with the adults that we're about to talk about, and then like 16 kids from TMD House, which is in the city of God. Like, it's not easy to I can't afford to fly to Florida. So I don't know how they're getting into the U.S. to come with that many kids for paying kids. But yeah, that's why there's so many. They're going hard.
Fundraising is a huge part of youth sports. This is essentially travel jiu-jitsu, just like there's travel basketball.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, true.
So for them to do the damn thing, they did a great job though, just getting here. Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna kick ass.
Yeah, it's a matter about having like a kids competition team. I think I know like TLI has a really strong kids competition team. There's another academy who, friends of mine. In researching what we're gonna talk about, like the drama, like if you know me, I was in drama with like Bronx Jiu-Jitsu and Adopt the Cop. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. But another program that I know, a friend that I know, a Brazilian, he's got a gym. I realized that he has an Adopt the Cop program with a graduated cop, so that was a little interesting. He's got a major kids squad, and not a lot of teams really promote kids competition teams where like they have kids classes, and kids classes pay a lot of bills, but really motivating them to go out and like be competition ready. Do you see a lot of kids competition teams?
I think every school has a kids program if they're trying to be lucrative.
Kids program though, that's what I'm saying. There's kids programs, so are they taking them to compete? Like when we're talking about flying out a whole kids team, like in the liability and the responsibility of flying out a kids team to Orlando or Cali, like actually traveling outside. It's one thing to like take kids in a van and go compete Naga, like in a 5-hour drive, but when you like catching flights,
there's a handful of teams across the country that I think travel extensively.
Well, who you said you got? This pop quiz. Who you think? I said Unity.
That's Devontae Johnson's crew.
But yeah, specifically Devontae Johnson's crew, because he trains out in Jersey with those kids, I think. But it's full Unity, but he does. And he actually went down to Virginia to train with this other team that I'm talking about, and they had a kids camp, and I think it was fundraising for paying kids one year. So yeah, there we go.
I know there's Crazy 88. I know there's
Crazy 88. I was hanging that in with
ALJ.
Yeah. They have little kids, or they have just their.
They have the whole gamut. At least they used to. Then you have Otto Sense Kids. Checkmat has a very, very, very good kids team. They were pillaged a little bit by ALJ back in the day. There's teams in Texas, I know for sure. All the hot spots are going to have teams that travel, but I would say the 1% of those teams, or 3%, let's just say 3%, of all the kids' team travel like that. Because it's the same handful of kids that you're going to see win over and over again. There's always going to be one-offs where individual parents or cycle jiu-jitsu parents that want their kid to do jiu-jitsu. But for the most part, there's only probably a handful or a couple dozen teams in the country, the world, that will travel nationally or internationally with their kids to compete.
Yeah. And the TLI kids, they're hilarious. I got a lot of footage from when I was traveling with them, and when I went to go film the belt ceremony, I was there filming the kids first, and just between them fighting about the games that they play, I don't know what it is, the shooting games. I don't know what it is. Fortnite. That's what it is.
Oh, Fortnite.
Okay. And then Q's. No, who was it? Was it Q? It was Z over there talking about Chick-fil-A sauce is universal, and then between Chick-fil-A sauce and Polynesian sauce, they get into the randomest debates. But I'm thinking about coming up with some kind of vlog about these little kids, because even watching Master Donnie's stories when they were training for Orlando Open of it was hilarious. I don't know if you saw it. It's this one girl, they're running, and she sits down, and Master Donnie's up there with the camera. He's like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "My legs, they're broken." Master Donnie's like, "Broken?" they were broken, you wouldn't have been able to get as far as you did. So it's like just the drama that he goes through of like getting these kids prepared. Like Miss Carrie, Sydney's mom was telling me about, you know, some of his like mastermind about how he gets these kids on weight, and I'm not going to drop that knowledge for free on this because, like, you know, that's his little secret, but it was genius. It was genius. I was like, yo, I thought you were just chilling and kicking it with the kids, but like this is your way to trick them into weight. Like it's a lot to run a kids class, and much less like, and even more to run a competition camp. Like a lot of people think that because I do all this stuff with Teddy the Kids Project that I work with kids. It's like, nah. I work with adults, like high school students. That's my demographic. I like fundraise for kids. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a serious game. It's not a game. It's very serious coaching those kids and to see them grow. Like, because it's such a handful of teams that are actually doing it and they're that serious, you'll see kids that come up through the ranks and they're winning from gray belt to black belt. An example of this is some of the guys on the team that did well this weekend. Yep,
and I'm going to run down that list now. So we had 2 new black belts from TLI out there getting it. Elijah Dorsey made his black belt debut. Came in number one. That was amazing. Wait, did he come number 1?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. There's 2 Elijah. There's the between the 2 Dorseys and the 2 Corey's, I confuse them all. So Elijah came in number 1 in his black belt debut. That was the lightweight division. Malachi closed out with our brand new black belt Corey Walker in the lightweight division. Corey Dorsey won first place in the purple middleweight division, and then he won second in the purple open belt class. And that's what I have for TLI. You were talking about Angelo, who I didn't get. I was going through the results.
He took bronze in his weight division in Nogi, and he had a very good match with Wagner Rocha. And, you know, the thing with Truck is he got injured. Truck got injured not too long ago. He tore his ACL.
That's what I was saying.
That's a long. I think he tore his ACL.
He historically has knee problems. You know.
Yes. When you're a Truck and you're pushing like that, your wheels might fall off every once in a while. But Truck is coming off a serious knee injury, and for him to be able to compete against an established world-class competitor like Wagner, it speaks volumes to the level of training and how much work he's put in since he was a little guy. You know, I remember Truck being a little kid and just traveling all the time. And I'm seeing now in jiu-jitsu that it's going to, you know, they say you got the 10,000 hours. Now it's about how rapidly you can get those 10,000 hours, or how you can cut the time that it takes for you to get the skills of someone that has 10,000 hours. And when you're training full time since a little kid, or consistently that long, and you have great instructors, you're going to see huge jumps. And I think that match was a testament to the work that Angelo put in, and he's just getting started. He's a very green black belt. You know, it's good to see Corey go up a division. You know, he is a smaller guy, and with these regionals, it's so crazy that black belt divisions in a sport that's supposed to be worldwide, you'll have divisions at tournaments in jiu-jitsu hotbeds like Florida, specifically Orlando.
A lot of major teams out there. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was going to talk about with like the women's division. Like black belt women, I think total 5 people registered in all the divisions. 5? 5.
Total?
5, yeah, because I was
all
looking.
The women black belts?
Yeah, because I was trying to see, like, I know Levi, who was just here, Levi Jones was just here from Unity. He did a seminar at High Style, so I was chilling with him and his girl, Alanis. I saw she got first place, but she didn't have nobody in her division, so I'm, like, sitting, like, it must suck. Like, I know you're traveling down there with your man, but, like, you also bought a ticket and you go and you want to compete and there's nobody in your division. Like, that really sucks. And then black belt 5 total people.
It sucks for a couple reasons. One, if you're chilling with your man and you think it's a vacation, it's not, because you still got to cut weight.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you have to make weight. No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying how much it sucks.
Yeah.
You have to make weight. You have to pay for the flight, pay for the hotel, and you still don't get a match. Tragic. It's a shame, man. You ladies should have more competitors.
Yeah, we got to figure out. We need like more group chats or something, ways to motivate more people to go to competitions. But
just when you think
rough.
jiu-jitsu is becoming a professional sport and just Olympic level, you hear stories like that and it just puts it right back into perspective. But it's fun, though. I liken jiu-jitsu to skateboarding.
Oh, yeah, that is true. You do like to compare jiu-jitsu to skateboarding.
All right, and in brown belt division, you were mentioning somebody you know, a personal friend, I guess you said in that outline?
That was Alanis, yeah.
Okay.
Brown belt female from Unity. She came down here and taught us some dope Tariqa Platas. Very complicated.
Oh, I thought you was going to talk about Hiram Gracie.
Oh, and then Hiram, you know, I was watching him again. I don't think he had any matches, but I was just like kind of reflecting because I know Hiram. Hiram was really good friends with a really good friend of mine, Eduardo Hockey. But Hiram's like, he trains a lot at like the Henzo in New York. So it's like, it's weird to have like connected with him at one point, heard a little bit about his story, and now it's just kind of like F Henzo Gracie and everybody affiliated with him. So it's like conflicting to see that, you know?
Damn, that's some serious shit right there. You don't like Henzo for a lot of reasons, and I think this rightfully so. A few years ago, we used to talk about how he quoted a Nazi and then just doubled down on it, which, hey man, you know, some people think cucumbers taste better pickled. You know, some people don't like Nazis. Other people quote them. So, you know, it's to each his own. But, you know, I see both sides, Nico. I see both sides.
Do you see the good side of Henzo? I mean, DJ loves Henzo, and
DJ loves everybody. DJ loves everybody, okay? Let's not even go into it. I was just talking to someone about DJ. Nice things, because DJ is an awesome guy. And, yeah, DJ likes everybody. So, you know, I don't see the good in all people.
But you see the good in Henzo. You see a good side.
I see that he's good at jiu-jitsu. He's good at explaining jiu-jitsu, but I would expect nothing less than someone that has been doing it since before they could walk. But, you know, part of the whole aesthetic of Henzo that turns some people off is that they love law enforcement so much. And, you know, I'm pretty sure they're a part of this program that you hate with every fiber of your being, Nico.
Very true. Very true. We starting off with the end of it? We going?
No, we can get into it. We can just preview. It's just a preview.
Oh, okay.
But, you know, this program that she hates is a red flag that you should always notice when you're looking for a BJJ school. You know, I was thinking today about why people pick schools and what to look out for. I get so many messages about people hating where they train, or I train at McDojo, I have to cross train, or I don't like this guy, you know, literally internal beefs. And I'll say this, I'm pretty blessed, I'm pretty lucky. I don't know why I was so lucky to find the school that I did, Crazy 88 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Elkridge, Maryland.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering why you picked this topic. I was like, Tim, we don't pick, like, we picked a school, like, we die hard school,
did.
like, and you homegrown, but, all right, so in response to questions, because I was kind of curious when I saw the outline. I was like, but we ain't switching.
We're trying to normalize switching gyms because too long jiu-jitsu has been treated as though it's old school Mr. Miyagi dojo where you have to stick with the same coach. People switch schools out here.
All the time.
People like to cross-train, and the more I learn about being a hobbyist, and the more hobbyists I meet, the more I get out of my bubble, I realize that it is a business. It's just like if you want to shop at one store a lot, then you say, no, fuck Supreme. I want to shop at Play Clothes or the Hundreds. You know, people switch gyms, and it's okay. We're going to normalize that. So,
I mean, because you need to find an environment and an atmosphere that's good for you. It's like, you can't, if you really want to learn and master something and get good, like, you do have to, like, have some consistency and stick with something. But that's not to say, like, you can't change teams or have grown out of it or just find that environment's not good for you.
If you idolize where you train or the people that instruct you, you're more likely to deal with fuckery and be taken advantage of. So, we're talking about looking up schools. The first thing The first thing I look for, like if you're looking for a school, is to Google it. Because this step is to avoid a McDojo. You don't want to go to a McDojo. So what you want to do is Google your local gyms, look at the coaches on their website, and when you look at the coach on the website, look at their lineage. Figure out who gave them their black belt, who gave the person who gave them their black belt, and trace their lineage as far back as possible. That's how you prevent going to some guy that doesn't know shit. And then when you look up your coach's lineage, you want to look up their competitive resume as well as their athletic resume as an instructor. So the guy could be a great physical coach in his own right when it comes to their competing, but if they can't teach you shit or they never produce anybody, that might be a red flag for you. So look at the lineage on Google, or BJJ Heroes even better. If they can't trace the lineage to Mitsuyo Maeda somehow, there's an issue.
I think a lot of people are going to encounter that issue, though, especially if you train in a remote place or not. So, like, DC, it's like I think about Beta Academy, Nakapon can go back to, like, Leo Dalla. Leo Dalla is credible. But, like, we have Leo Dalla in the area. Like, if you don't have any, like, black belts in the area or people that have trained with who you would consider a good lineage, then it's going to be a little bit harder to find lineage, don't you?
Well, if you're, people have their issues with IBJJF. However, the way they break down where you got your black belt and have somebody speak for you is paramount.
Yeah.
That's the most important aspect of it. I can't teach jiu-jitsu unless I have my IBJJF certification officially. And I think that should be a huge part of it.
But that's not how it is.
It's not always how it is.
But it should be. Like,
it should be a part of your process to find it.
We did talk about that, didn't we? How there's, like, no professional development. It's like comparing it to, like, when you get a concealed carry to have the badges to go up, or I just had that conversation in my head.
Yeah, we've discussed it somehow. And I understand that side. I'm not saying it's a be-all, end-all. But in order to find lineage, I think that's a huge part, because if you can't trace it back to Mitsuyo Maeda, you put a little too much cut in it, You put too much little cut in it. You want that pure, uncut, raw lineage.
Well, so how you getting back there?
What do you mean?
Can you name your lineage for the people that don't know what, like, the heck you're talking about? All right, let's go back. So
me, Julius Park, Lord Irvin, Leo Dalla, Jorge Pereira.
Slow down. Some of these people don't know who these people are, and we might need to hear
Leo
it.
Dalla, George
we got
Pereira, Hickson, Elio, Carlos, Mitsuyo Maeda.
Nice.
I could be wrong. Let's double check.
No, because I don't go through, like, lineage makes a good point. I go, like, maybe I can base off my academy, right? So not a lot of people would know, and I can't deny it. So, like, I am a blue belt from Novo and Yao, although, like, taught by Terere, and kind of a little bit Gordo, but, like, I think Terere is the one that majorly influenced my blue belt, like, career, although for politics I'm from Novo and Yao.
Yep.
But that's certified.
Yep. Me, Julius Park, technically, yeah, Julius Park, Lloyd, Carlos Gracie, Elio Gracie, Hickson Gracie, Lloyd, Leo Dalla, George Pereira, Hickson Gracie, Elio Gracie, Carlos Gracie, and then Mitsuyo Maeda.
Yeah, so for me to find mine, I would look up, like, what I'm doing right now is going to BJJ Heroes and looking up Terere. So I would say Terere blue belt. I'm actually a Terere purple belt, as I got it from there. Mm-hmm. And now but even though I'm a Terere purple belt, I was a blue belt for 7 years. Who knows? Like, so I would say half of the time my biggest influence in jiu-jitsu came from, like, Terere himself, and the other half was from Lloyd Irvin. Even though I was in another school, like, I train there, but I don't contribute that school to really having contributed much to my game, but maintained it. So, and then from purple belt on, I'm hopping on the same lineage as him, because then it's just Lloyd Irvin. But I only know the schools. I don't know my actual lineage. That's a good point of, do you know your history? Like, y'all need to get it on point.
Yeah, you guys gotta know. And I think that's important, because you don't want to learn no bullshit out here. And the competitive resume is important. So is their teaching resume. I'd say I lean a little bit towards teaching resume if you can trace their lineage back to Mitsuyo Maeda, because at least we know you didn't learn some jiu-jitsu from some weirdo's garage. How are we on time, Nico?
We are, like, at 30 minutes probably. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's just do step one. That's just step one. We're going to keep you guys, we're going to add a little bit more steps on what to look for as the weeks go on. We want to make this a recurring segment, since we need to work on our segments, Nico.
Oh, yeah. If you have any segment ideas for us, like, I mean, we run it. We do it. I keep telling Tim we need to be more organized. So we have, like, black belt wisdom, but we actually need names of, like, specific segments, or even just, like, the names, even if we don't know what we're going to put in them. So if you guys want to contribute to that creative process, we can get into that in the comments to this post, or if you're in our Discord or Patreon community, leave your ideas there.
Yeah, if you want to guest, like, yeah, we are looking for guests. We have a lot of guests planned, but we're always looking for guests. And like she said, if you want some topics that you want us to go over, please feel free. Hit us up on our social media, because you can find me at Tim Spriggs BJJ on Instagram or Facebook. You can catch me on Twitter too at Mushmaster Let me say that again. You can find me on Twitter at Mushmaster. And if you want a match breakdown where I critique your match, if you want me to give you a game plan, if you want me to give you a private lesson both in person or virtually, or even do a seminar at your academy, go to timspriggsbjj.com. Where can we find you, Nico?
You can find me on Instagram at NoNuNico. I'm on TikTok as well. I'm dropping a lot of Portuguese for jiu-jitsu, so if you're interested in learning Portuguese, I had a friend that pointed out, even if you don't want to learn Portuguese, but you're trying to be a world champion, you ain't getting to that podium without facing off against a Brazilian. So if you're trying to understand what their coach is saying while you're in the match, you need to slide on over to my Instagram and work on your Portuguese. I'm working on that smack talking Portuguese and stuff that you're going to hear at competitions. You can also go to favelajujitsu.com to get some vocabulary lists. And of course, BJJ Goons merch. We have the BJJ Goons collection in our shop there. So and that's all I got. I don't got Twitter. I'm not like Tim.
I use that for professional wrestling, because professional wrestling goes through Twitter. But hey, I'm always looking for new followers. Guys, thanks for watching another episode of the BJJ Goons podcast. Until next time, peace.